What's going on, Grandstand groupies? We're a day late and $1 short, but that's not a big deal. Today we're giving you the review of the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500 from Atlanta. We touch a little bit on the Xfinity race. We talk a little bit about one of the road courses coming up at Coda. That, jokes, all the good stuff coming up next on the GrandStand Boyz.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to the GrandStand Boyz. I'm your host, Lake and Bake with B-Rad. And today we're going to talk about the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500 in Atlanta, 325 laps. I think it was a good race. Just overall quick thought.
Before we really get into that, let's just quick thoughts of the whole reconfiguration of the track.
Yeah.
I wasn't too enthusiastic about it before I watched it. Didn't know what I was going to get. I was kind of a fan of the older configuration. I know the racing, when it comes to excitement, wasn't so great, but being, a hardcore race fan, I respected and understood how difficult it was to drive on the old configuration. But the new configuration definitely exceeded my expectations when it came to excitement. I think it maybe took some of the skill of the driver away to drive at this track. It's it kind of turns into a Daytona and Talladega, and every NASCAR fan knows that it's not always the best driver that wins at one of those places. It helps to be a good driver, but a lot of time the car plays a lot into it as well.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I thought it was exciting. All the races were very exciting. Truck race was exciting. Xfinity race was exciting. Cup race was very exciting. Probably need a couple things they need to, smooth out. Maybe some tire issues. I've heard some things where they thought some of the teams running too much camber in their end, but I was also hearing that they think that the aero load, how much downforce the leader was getting, was putting a lot of pressure on the tire, and that's what's causing some of the flat tires for the leaders as well.
Okay.
But overall, I call it a success.
Definitely. Except for that poor truck driver that tried to go through the the short bridge under.
Yeah, the short tunnel all the way out. I mean,
that poor guy.
but it was another one of those ordeals where, Fox made a good decision by bringing Jeff Gordon back in the booth. I don't know. Never thought I'd ever say that. It's like, you don't know what you got till it's gone. Sweet paradise, blow up the parking lot kind of thing. But that was the best probably Fox has done all year when it comes to in the booth, and it was still not very good. I mean, they beat the dead horse. They showed that truck. That wasn't during the Cup race, so that was during the Busch race.
That was
Xfinity. But
Xfinity.
it was beating a dead horse. But it was good to hear Jeff Gordon back in the booth.
Definitely.
It just shows how bad everybody else is, because he was never that great. But that just shows you how bad Tony's. Matt Kenseth has probably been the second best guy they put in the booth all year, and he's about as interesting as a piece of paper.
Well, can't win them all.
Can't win them all.
Xfinity. I saw that obviously Ty Gibbs won and he jumped off the car. I didn't realize Jeff Gordon had done that too. I thought that was a cool side-by-side. Yeah, he tweeted.
Yeah, speaking of Ty Gibbs, though, I can't stand the kid, me personally. But we have a villain brewing. When he gets up into the Cup Series, he's going to be public enemy. If he takes Kyle Busch's seat, number one, which that's always been the rumor floating around that, he'd take his seat. But that would be a tough 1, 2, 3 punch from Joe Gibbs, because the two most hated drivers probably right now are Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. Nobody really cares about Martin Truex Jr. Nobody really knows that Christopher Bell's on the track. But if
he led a few laps this race.
If you put Ty, he finished dead last on the lead lap because he crossed the yellow line, the red 23rd. Line there, which is a stupid rule. But anyway, if they bring Ty Gibbs up, he's going to be public enemy number one. He's like probably what everybody wanted Austin and Ty Dillon to be, but he's so much better than those two guys running on Papaw's money. So. But the thing is he's good, right? He probably would have got.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't have had the opportunity. Maybe, I don't know. A lot of people don't have the opportunities, but he's a great driver, so he deserves it. But he's going to be public enemy number one when he gets to the Cup race. The fans are going to hate him and I'm going to be right on that side too. But he's very impressive to watch, no lie.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into the race. Pre-race, Harrison Burton failed inspection twice, sent to the back. Brad
Blah.
Keselowski sent to the back, unapproved adjustments. Brad Keselowski can't catch a break. I don't.
Well, I mean, it was definitely a big. He was taking a risk leaving
Definitely.
Penske, which is top 3 team,
Yeah.
to go to Roush, who in the early 2000s was top 2 team, and just hit the shitter and fell off the face of the earth. So it was like him obviously investing in the company,
Yeah.
him becoming part owner. I feel like they've probably done better than what they thought they were going to do as a team as a whole. With
Hmm.
with Busher, I think he finished 10th or something. I know he finished
Yeah,
backwards.
he's been. Oh, yeah,
So,
he did.
so I mean, the bar was probably pretty low for Keselowski, honestly. Obviously, he was going to tell you
Hmm.
he's got it so high, but he knew what he was getting himself into. He was getting himself into a shit show. I mean, Roush has been a shit show for a long time. Since the Carl Edwards days, they've been a shit show. Since Jeff Burton days, they've been a shit show. So, I mean, I would consider it. I mean, he's probably not catching a break with a lot of things. He's wrecking a lot, pushing probably cars to the limit because he's not used. He's probably still trying to figure out where the limit is on the
Yeah.
car that probably doesn't have as much performance as a Penske car would. But I would consider him being ahead of schedule. Put it that way. As a company, they're ahead of schedule as a company.
Yeah. The race was pretty blah for a while. Lap 24, Noah Gragson got loose, corrected, and
He
went to the
mollywhopped that thing.
wall hard,
Yeah.
like hard. And I remember they were talking about how the tires are different and the steering being different than Xfinity cars.
Mm-hmm.
So they're thinking he probably just.
Yeah, I mean, it's just rookies, right? I mean, like, young guy who's going to be in Cup one day, too, I think. He's another one of the stars in the Xfinity series that's coming up. You know, just bad luck. He probably, if he had to do it over again, he wouldn't have done what he did. I mean,
Yeah.
that's very easily said, but,
Yeah.
I mean, you hate to see it for him. I enjoy watching him. Me, big team Chevy guy. So
Yeah.
I hate to see it, but, you'll have that on them big jobs.
Yeah. On lap 37, slingshot engaged. This is when we see more of the Daytona Talladega plate racing. Kyle Busch pushed Byron. He slings around Chastain. And then we see constant lead changes throughout the entire race.
Yeah, that was really exciting once they started to really get the bumping, because that's the past 10 years. That's how it's been in all the plate races. You
Mm-hmm.
get a run, you bump the guy in front of you. You just don't push the pusher kind of thing. So you don't want to be, the guy in the lead getting pushed by the guy in second, the guy behind. You don't push the pusher kind of thing. But I mean, it was very exciting. Lead changes all the time, people getting runs, and some individually passing people on the bottom, slingshotting around the bottom, and then sliding in front of them. And it kind of turned into a 1-lane race for a little while. Everybody just riding around the top. Nobody really moving once they started to see the inconsistencies with the car. Maybe is the word to say about, as a
Maybe.
tire wear guy, they were obviously they're trying to make it to the end of the race. Maybe it should have been
Yeah.
400 miles. Sometimes 500 is too much.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's tracks that it's just not necessary. And maybe since this was a new configuration and they're learning it, 400 miles maybe been a better choice. But once again, I was pretty happy with it. But it did get a little blah there for a little while. And then, it started picking up kind of thing.
Definitely. There were 3 drivers that were leading, and then the right rear popped or something. I think it was.
It was Stenthouse, Chastain, and Reddick.
It was Reddick. Okay.
I
And
don't
I
know if
think.
Reddick was leading, but I know that was the 3 major ones that I
Oh
can think
yeah,
of.
yeah. Reddick he was the big wreck though. He spun,
I don't
and
know.
then the
Recky
whole.
Spinhouse was pretty bad too, because remember he got hit into the side by Austin Cindric. Ended his
Oh
day.
Yeah, but I just mean number of cars. There were 13 involved
Oh yeah. You're talking
in
about
Reddit.
residual effect of the wreck.
Yes, yes. um, but yeah, Stenhouse when
He might have won.
he was
Segueing off
that
of
was a good
Spinhouse too. Let me tell you, my fantasy teams was fucked this weekend. I mean, both leagues. I won in one of my leagues. I think I scored 80 points. 80. I was in the top 100 in the world last year in fantasy NASCAR. Top 100 in score, top one of one in NASCAR fantasy team names. Natural Light makes my dick trickle. I need to trademark that. But um yeah, because I had Ricky Stenhouse in one of my leagues as my sleeper guy, And I'm like,
Yep.
damn, he's leading. Put him in. Take him out the garage. Put him in. And I was leading for a while, and then they started dropping like flies. Denny Hamlin, gone. Kyle Busch, gone.
Yeah, Kyle Busch
Kyle
got me.
Larson, gone. Ricky Spinhouse, gone. All I had left was Kevin Harvick, which stunk, and Kyle Larson. I mean, excuse me, I already said Kyle Larson. Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott was my saving grace.
And I happened to pick Daniel Suarez, Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman.
A blind squirrel plays with his nuts every once in a while.
This is I think the third week in a row
Yeah,
Suarez
you
has been in
picked
the
Chase
top 10.
Briscoe last week. You don't talk about baby back bullshit. You didn't even know who he was.
No, I did not. I
Didn't
thought
even
I
know
picked
what car he drove.
I thought I picked Chris Buescher, but I thought Chris Buescher was
Chase
I can't remember
Briscoe.
Chase Briscoe. Thank you. I was
They're
like, I don't
about
know.
as both interesting as each other, so I can understand why you would do that.
It's the CBs, and you're
Yeah,
a CB too.
I am a CB if you go by my first name and middle name. Yes, not my middle name and last name, but yes, you're right.
So, stage one finishes under caution, and Willie B
Mm,
gets those stage points.
good for him.
So
More Team Hendricks guys here.
stage one, it was all Chevys and Toyotas at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Stage two, it seemed like it inverted. It was all Fords and Toyotas, which is a pretty good look for Toyota because no matter what, they were up there.
Well, and they have the least amount of cars in the field by a long shot.
So I
I
think
mean,
that's impressive.
they've got Kurt and Bubba and 4 Gibbs cars, which they're technically all Gibbs cars.
Yeah.
I mean, not Jeff Gordon.
Is that it?
Michael Jordan. Yeah,
Yeah.
Who else has a Toyota? Think about it.
Oh my goodness. I guess I just never really realized.
No, I mean, I'm not counting the bums and the scums in the back of the pack that might have bought a car from somebody, which that's really nobody right now. But they're all Gibbs cars. Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin own 2 of them. They just paid Joe Gibbs to build the cars, let's be honest, which that's fine. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Kind of like Trackhouse. That's pretty much a 4-car operation for Richard Childress. Let's be honest, that's where the cars come from. So, but no, it's pretty impressive when the Toyotas, because they have all their drivers are top tier talent except for Christopher Bell. Come at me if you don't think that on, out there in YouTube or in podcast land. I don't give a damn. They should have never got rid of Eric Jones. Eric Jones is doing much better and less of a car. He has for the past 2 years. But anyway, it's pretty impressive when Toyota does that. But at the end of the day, bye-bye Denny. Bye-bye Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Bell makes a dumb move, goes underneath the red line. Well, it's not. I don't know if I consider it a dumb move. He probably has a complaint that said he got pushed down there. I watched it 1,000 times. He went down there.
Yeah. Well, during stage two, Denny pushes Larson, and Larson got loose. Was Larson? He led for a while, didn't he?
I don't think
Not
he
a
led for a
while,
while. He
maybe
was
like
up
a lap
front.
or two.
He was up front because he was in that first wreck with Reddick and all them guys, Joey Logano,
Okay.
and he ran in the back of somebody and he had some damage on his front end, so his car was kind of the hot term on Fox was draggy. So the aero coefficient, if you want to be a fancy boy, the aerodynamics was not great. So he had the motor. He didn't have the the aerodynamics lead up front, but then he was getting pushed by Denny, which that was just the product of that style of racing.
Yeah.
I mean, you hate to see it, but I understand it. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't mad.
Yep. Stage 2 ended in a caution as well, and Ryan Blaney got that win. Do you call him a win if it's a stage win? Yeah.
Yeah, and I've very openly hate stage racing. It's just the way to manufacture a break in between because they were
Yeah.
getting the old car made product where legitimately they could run the entire race and not have a single caution. So they were trying to figure out a way to manufacture maybe not excitement, but breaks for the fans, but excitement too, because restarts are at a lot of those tracks are the only exciting parts you have.
Yeah.
Um,
At Phoenix,
Texas,
Texas.
Michigan, New Hampshire. I mean, you can just go on for days. Las Vegas, Kansas, Kentucky. Obviously, Kentucky's gone. Heck, Nashville. I mean, all the mile and a half stuff's not very exciting once they start to get spread out. Um, but yeah, I mean, good stage win. Good. I mean, points, which I don't understand how it works anymore. Good.
I don't either, especially in fantasy. I was like, I don't know how this works.
No.
Our 10th caution was with 25 laps to go in the race. Cody Ware went into the wall hard. Cody Ware, I think he wrecks every race. Never
Mm.
his fault, I don't think. I just think he happens to
He's
always be there.
notorious for wrecking.
But is it ever his fault? I can't. Or is he just, oh, there's Cody?
Well, at some point, if you wreck that much, it's eventually going to be like, well, it's definitely his fault. Whether he's,
Yeah.
it can sometimes be wrong place, wrong time. But if you wreck that much, the only answer to it is it's him.
Yeah.
Now obviously he's a better driver than me, but that's not saying much,
Yeah. During that caution, Todd Gilliland. Did I
Mm-hmm.
make that name up?
Yeah,
Is that
he was in the Georgia Peanuts Ford.
Oh, yes, I remember that now.
Mm-hmm.
He got loose and the wall goes into traffic.
That's when Cody Ware got in a wreck.
Yeah, that's what I was piggybacking. Same caution.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, nothing else happened, and then no. There must have been something else because didn't we have the restart and
I don't
they were
know.
trying to figure out
You're in charge of steering the ship. I don't remember.
Byron and Bubba were
Yep.
1 and 2, and then Blaney had to decide who to go behind. Was that after this caution? And then they ran the 10 laps or 25 laps? I don't know why I'm thinking there might have been something else.
I thought you had the notes. I don't know.
Thanks. Anyways, Willie B ends up winning.
Good for him. I've been very critical of him.
You
I'm still
really have.
It's probably still going to be a little bit,
I
but
think he raced very well today,
I mean,
or whatever day
obviously
it
he was
was.
up front all day. I mean, he won stage 1. So,
Yep.
I mean, good for him. I feel like deep down inside, he's Rick Hendrick's boy. Like that's his boy. That's his ride or die bitch is Willie B. I mean, he's talented. Like I said, I've never thought he, coming from a fan perspective, never really. I don't think he's deserved what he's got, kind of thing. Like all the publicity he's got, I don't think he hasn't blown the doors off of it like a Jimmy Johnson or a Jeff Gordon or a
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Busch or a Denny Hamlin. But they were obviously their stats are better. They were in the sports longer. But I feel like if I remember when I was a child, that by this point, now I know he's young,
Mm-hmm.
but how many years has he been in the league? I mean, he started when he was 19. So, and I know that Jimmy started late, but I just remember after a couple years in, Jimmy was dominating. So, and that's my benchmark as a Jimmy fan was, where do you stack up against him? Which that's probably pretty hard ask too, because I mean, hell, he's a 7-time champion, 83 wins or something, whatever crazy numbers. It's like we're probably not going to see for a long time again. But yeah, good for Hendricks. I mean, think about it. Each one of their drivers has a win except for Chase Elliott, and Chase Elliott's leading the points. It's a pretty good start. You know what I mean? It's a pretty good start. I mean, people hate on Chase Elliott just because they're just I mean, I enjoy Chase Elliott. I'm not saying he's my favorite driver. Obviously, like I said, I'm just a Teep Hendricks fan. But it's funny. It's like if you're either a Chase Elliott fan or you fucking hate him. And I don't understand why. He does. I mean, I guess that's kind of like, I mean, I hate Denny Hamlin, but some people would say you don't understand why they hate Denny Hamlin. So I guess I get it. I guess I get it. But I think a lot of people that are fans of other drivers and Chase Elliott are mad that their driver is not as popular. So they feel sad for, like somebody feels sad for if they pull for.
I think that's what it is.
A Chase Briscoe or a Ross Chastain or an Eric Jones, because those are a bunch of, for a lack of a better term, nobodies.
I think it comes down to things. Yeah, NASCAR, Fox, all these people. Chases.
He's a pedigree name too.
The people's that too. The people's.
But you're saying the people's champ? He's the Rock.
Thank you. I couldn't remember.
He needs to rock bottom somebody on pit road after the race one time. He should have rock bottom Kevin Harvick last year at Bristol.
That would have been super exciting.
That would have been funny as hell.
He would what?
If he'd have done I'm talking late 90s, early 2000s wrestling terms. The people's elbow was that and rock bottom, which he was the Rock. Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
I picked up that.
his when he was in the WWF back then, he was the people's champ, and his moves was rock bottom and the people's elbow.
Gotcha.
That was his finishing moves. So anybody listening out there knows that, you know what I'm talking about. I was a Stone Cold guy, but
well, our top 10, William Byron. Ross Chastain ended up getting second because, as we stated earlier, Christopher Bell went below the line.
Broke the rules.
He ended up 23rd. So he was
last car on lead lap.
Yes. Kurt Busch third. Daniel Suarez.
That's a great finish for Kurt Busch.
Corey LaJoie.
Yeah, that's my dude. If there's anybody out there,
top 5 finish.
If there's anybody out there in NASCAR that has had a journeyman's career, and that I think is I can't say that if he's talented enough to drive a good car. I don't know. I haven't seen it because he's never been in one. But he is just, I call him like the working man's driver. Seems like a cool dude. I like drivers. I sit there, and the way I like to pick my drivers is ones I'd like to drink beers with, and I'd love to drink beers with Corey LaJoie. He just seems like a pretty cool dude to go to a daggum. I think their minor league team in Kannapolis is now called the Cannonballers. It used to be the Kannapolis Intimidators back in the day. I think a lot of people go to that. But it'd be cool to go to a minor league baseball game and just sit out in the outfield and chug beers and talk shit to the outfielder. He'd be the kind of guy to do it with.
And y'all can, he still has a mullet, doesn't he?
I don't know.
Y'all can twin.
Sure.
All right, coming in at 6 is Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher 7th, Martin Truex Jr. 8th, Joey Logano 9th, Alex Bowman 10th.
The hack attack. Just nickel and diamond in the top 10.
Yep. So we've got 3 Hendricks, both Trackhouse again.
Mm-hmm.
And what other teams?
Roush Fenway, Keselowski, Chris Buescher.
Okay.
Then we got
Michael
Jordan racing, and we got Joe Gibbs racing, and then we got Penske for Logano.
Yep.
Chris Buescher was AKA Ricky Bobby finishing backwards.
I don't even know how that wreck started. I just saw Bubba go into the wall, and then they all.
It's just last lap restrictor plate, pushing and shoving. Get the hell out of my way! I'm trying to win. You go to hell. No, I'm going. And then everybody's like, "Oh, that's just what happens." It's just what it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Well, there were 46 lead changes, and I think that's tied with the most in a race.
I think it broke it.
I
How many different
couldn't.
leaders were there?
There were 46. Oh, actual leaders? I
Yeah,
don't
that
know.
would have been the stat to have.
You should have wrote it down.
I do know that broke the record. I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but it definitely did.
Okay. I couldn't
It broke
remember
the
because
different leaders.
different leaders. Um, I don't know if I said it already, but the 60-year record of number of cars involved in wrecks. This race broke it.
At that track.
Yes, there we go. Thank you.
Yes, because there's been more at Cup or it's other at Daytona and Talladega. But yeah, it's very entertaining.
Very. The Jackman for Bell got hurt.
Did he get hurt? I know that he got hit and he had to go to the thing. Did they have it
That
came out and said?
I don't know. It just said he was. I haven't seen any updates. I think one of Kyle Busch's pit guys
Yeah, it still shows what
filled
kind of a
in.
badass he was though to finish the pit stop when he got hit.
I mean, I kept watching. And I was like, it looked like it barely tapped him, but
He's the epitome of a Billy badass in the best way possible.
I think adrenaline was pumping, and he had no
He's
idea
like, I
till
got a
that car
job
was
to do.
out.
I got to get this car off the ground. I got to do it one more time, and we'll figure out my knee later.
Yeah,
I
wow.
respect it. I respect it.
Um, so during the race, IndyCar was also going on, and I think we may have jinxed Jimmy, but like in a good way. He
I'm happy.
placed sixth at
I'm
Texas
happy
Motor
for him.
Speedway.
I think his best finish before then was 18th, so it's pretty impressive. But I mean, I'm going to state this on about every episode we ever do. But with me being a fan, I really don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But what I've read is that it's extremely hard to. I mean, obviously, I know it's very hard. You can't compare F1 to Indy to NASCAR. You can't say, well, the best drivers are NASCAR, best drivers are in F1, best drivers in Indy. It's whatever you were raised in. That's what makes you better.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard it's very very difficult to go. I mean, obviously, I could probably understand it. It'd be hard to go from, unless you're like Deion Sanders, going from baseball to football, right? It's
Yeah.
very difficult to go from NASCAR to Indy. And we've seen other people try to go from Indy to NASCAR, and there's only been really Tony Stewart and AJ Foyt back in the day, but I mean, that's a way out of my era, so I don't know. And that's been very successful with it. I guess Mario Andretti, maybe. I don't remember. But it's impressive. Now, it does help that it was an oval track, and that's what he's always ran in his,
Yeah.
his career. His adult career would have been
Yeah.
oval. So that helped, I'm sure. But no, I'm happy. Like I said, I'm probably going to try to get a Jimmy Johnson diecast for the collection I have I have, a lot of other ones since I was a hardcore Jimmy fan as a kid. So
Yep. Congrats, Jimmy. All right. Next week is our first road course of the season.
I want to
Circuit
get
of
them.
the Americas.
I want to get them out of here as quick as they come. We got too many. I like Circuit of the Americas. I think it's a great nostalgia road course. Give me 3 road courses on the total schedule. Give me Sonoma, give me Watkins Glen, and then rotate out of another one if you want to do something like that. Or give me Coda. That's fine. We really
How
didn't
many
get to
are
see.
there?
There's 7.
Whoa.
I mean, and I can't even name them all, but I can get close. Roval, Indianapolis Road Course, which is in the big track.
Mm-hmm.
Watkins Glen,
Circuit of the Americas.
Circuit of the Americas, Sonoma, which is Kentucky. I mean, not Kentucky, California. It's in the it's in the part of California that people act like they're from Kentucky.
Uh-huh.
I think they're.
Is
I
there a
don't know if
Daytona
they're.
road
No,
course?
not
No.
this year.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't remember if they're running at Road America, which is in, I think, Wisconsin, which I think they're running at Road America. And then,
We'll find out when
yeah,
we
we'll
go
find
there.
out. But it's way too many. Way too many. And
I mean,
we didn't really get to see what Coda was going to be like due to the rain last year.
yeah, it was a
So
mess.
it's
And
going to
now
be
you've got new
it's gonna
cars.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting
Hopefully a
because
dry
that track
race.
was designed for F1 cars.
Yeah.
And F1 and NASCAR are about as similar as I was trying to think of something funny, but I couldn't think of nothing funny that would be bad. It would be, good to say. So let's just say they're not very similar at all.
It's apples to oranges.
Sure.
Isn't that the normal comparison thing? It's apples and oranges.
Yeah, I mean I thought it was apples to apples, but it's not apples to
No,
apples.
apples to apples is like the clean version of Cards Against Humanity.
No, it's no. Apples to apples is when you're trying to measure something. Apples to apples, it's pretty close.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. No, it's not good.
Okay, back to Coda. It is 68 laps on a 3.4-mile track, 20 turns, 130 feet of elevation.
Mm-hmm.
Chase Elliott won last year, and it was Chevy's 800th NASCAR Cup Series win.
So when
I
you're
wonder what
coming
number
to
they're at now.
more than that, probably
800.
810. I
30.
don't know, but I mean the stat you're reading to me is like hieroglyphics. I don't know a damn thing about road courses, but I will tell you. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle a little knowledge. Here's my top 5 fantasy picks. Okay, you're going to be a
In
dumbass
our league?
in whatever league you want to be out there in the on the radio waves.
All right.
You're going to be a dumbass not to pick Chase Elliott, so you got to pick Chase Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
I
Say your
think
favorite person.
Kyle Busch.
Christopher Bell.
Christopher Bell's not nowhere near going to be the pick.
He does good on road.
He ain't done shit on shit. He ain't good at nothing.
He is
He's good. He's good on
he
dirt.
did good.
He might be okay at
Oh.
Bristol dirt, maybe. But we said that last year, and he took out Kyle Larson, the two favorites.
Well, we could barely see the race. There was so much dirt. So
That's why they're doing the night race. But anyway, we got Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson. I know I'm like top heavy here, but this is what you got to do in fantasy NASCAR is you just go with the heavy hitters every week until you don't have them anymore and hope you build a big enough lead and hold off. Martin Truex Jr. Okay. Kyle Busch. And I'm going to give you Sleeper as my 5th pick. Chase Briscoe. Take it to the bank when it comes to fantasy. Take it to the bank.
If I have anything to say, I pick a random person, and they always do good. So,
well, why don't you go ahead and pick Cody Ware and see what happens?
Sorry,
he actually
Cody.
might do pretty well because he did IndyCar too, but I doubt it.
I don't think I'll ever be picking Cody. No offense. If you're even listening, Cody Ware, but I'm not chancing it.
He's not.
I know he's not.
He never will. This is a hobby, dear. This ain't no hobby. This is a hobby.
Anywho, Alex Bowman will be driving in the truck race at Coda, and Bubba Wallace will be driving in Xfinity.
Trying to get his ass in some seat time, figure out the track. You know what I'm saying? Good.
It's just smart.
Dr. Pepper sponsoring Bubba and HendricksCars.com. Hendricks Cars sponsoring.
Hendricks sponsoring a Hendricks.
No, that's not how it works.
I know. I saw it whenever Larson got it, and they had to say, no, this is.
They're actually paying.
Yep. Lots to look forward to. Super exciting. Anything else?
Nope. I'm good. You good?
I'm good. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at GrandStand Boyz with a Z. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. If you're listening through podcast, share us, rate us. I think you rate on Apple.
Give us stars.
Stars.
We don't care if it's a 1 star. We just want a star.
We just
want. When I was in kindergarten, I'd take 2 stars. Mama wouldn't, but I would.
Let's rate the race in beers.
Oh.
I'm gonna go What's the highest number? We're doing like a 24 pack
Yeah, a case. Yeah.
case. Okay. I'm going to give it 20. I
20 beers.
was very entertained. It was exciting. It doesn't sound like I pay attention due to this me forgetting how it went, but it's a few days later and I have a life and a
Yeah, well,
job.
yeah, we got jobs. We're a little late. I was just kidding. I'll give it 18 and a half
um,
beers. 18 and a half beers.
all in all, it was a great race.
I mean, that's a good score for me. 18 and a half beers.
Yep.
That's enough that's enough that if you drink about 10 of them real fast, like, within an hour and a half, and you get drunk, you can maintain with them other 8.
10 beers in an hour and a half?
Yeah, hour and a half. We've been downtown Nashville plenty of times. We've done that.
That just seems like a lot. I guess once you start drinking, you kind of lose track.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening, and be sure to tune in next week. Bye.
Thanks.